Do you want to just jump in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just jump in.
But I don't know how to start the podcast without, you know how usually we're in the middle. I like to start in the middle of a sentence, but I guess I have to say, hello and welcome to the podcast. How do you do, love, with Mag and Ange? I'm Mag, also known as Margaret Dahlberg. And
I'm Angela Kavar. I said it. It's out there. Wait,
I can hear my chair creaking.
I'm going to say it slower.
Can anyone hear this?
I just wanted people to know how to pronounce it. Angela Kavar.
Okay. Not Angela or...
Not Angela.
Or not
Carver.
Angela or Angela.
I hate caver. People do cavers. Or carver. There's no extra R in there.
Carver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give these comments about a 3 out of 10, maybe. We're not on our A game yet.
No, I know that's because we're like, ah.
I know we've been scrambling, and but we're here now, and yeah, boy, lots to report. So, first of all, the last time we all got together,
all of us
and all of our listeners,
yeah,
when we were all together, we talked about how, like, you know, it's kind of like the story of Angela. In fact, I met someone recently just playing tennis, and somehow they came out, I was doing a podcast, and we started talking about it. And I realized the journey that you've been on. So for people listening from the beginning, there was all the chapters of the show, and you were more recent in a breakup, and you were like, I could never online date. And just sort of how you've had your own journey over really the last year and a few months since we started. Obviously, your journey's been longer. And how you went from, you know, not ready to date, would never want to date online.
Yeah, like not just I don't think I could, but never.
Yeah.
I will never.
Yeah.
So sure about it.
And you said, I don't think I could handle it. Like that you felt like it would create all kinds of, like, you'd be overly activated in so many different ways. So then you went to, no, I think I want to try it. I think I'm ready to, like, very quickly. I don't want anything I say to sound like any kind of judgment, but really, let me rephrase, to very successfully meeting someone.
Right. Yeah.
So to you, Ange.
To me? Okay.
I don't know. Give us an update.
Okay,
or
an update.
Speak to that or whatever.
I'm going to speak to that. Well,
just improvise.
Okay,
I'm done. I need a break from all that talking I just did.
Okay. You're going to have to do a lot of editing here. Well, I'm in that part of the story that people write songs about.
Which one?
And
I
poetry.
fall in love too easily. Middle ground is the place. It's time for being strong.
Send in the clowns.
I don't think any of my songs from my show are applicable. Let's just. There's no comfort.
No, I don't. God, what was
so
that?
So I laugh and I cry and I find another guy.
I mean, there's so many songs. You know what I was talking about, okay?
Yeah.
All right. No, I feel.
Why do birds? That's the song you're in. Suddenly appear.
That is the song.
Time. You should see her smiling, people. She is sparkling. She is radiant. She's falling. She's falling in love, but not too easily. God. That's the song.
I know.
Chapter 2, folks. If any of our new listeners out there are wondering what I'm referring to, that's chapter 2.
So I would say fantastic, scary as hell on one level. Why? Because this is not my first rodeo. I hate that saying. It just sounds so crash.
It is crash.
It sounds crash.
I've talked about this before. I think someone had the best comment about, like, so if it's your second rodeo, like, what does that mean? Like, have you watched a rodeo? It doesn't look easy or like fun.
I know. If it's not my first rodeo,
off.
I must have a lot of injuries. I think that's what we're saying. No, I don't know. I don't like that. Okay, I just really want to say, though, it's mostly about his dog, because his dog...
Oh, my God. Now my dog is here. Out, Frankie. Go on. Oh, never mind. Angela's petting her.
Because once I met his dog, I was like, that's it. That's it for me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've known you far too long.
Zip it.
I'm saying nothing. All I said is I know you far too long.
Have I shown you pictures of this dog?
Yes.
Have you seen this dog cuddle and spoon me?
Yeah. I want to hear about the dog in 12 to 18 months.
That's so mean.
No, of course. I have loved my d'amour's pets always. I love, when I think it's like family members. When you meet other people that are part or other things, pets that are fucking dog, that are part of your, the person you are excited about and interested in's life, you of course you love their, you should.
This is true. Yeah,
that's not always the case.
I've hardly had any amours who have pets.
So is this is this your first amour with a dog?
It's the first, we'll say, real one. There's this one, but it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Whoa. A whole thing. So I would say, yeah, I don't know.
I have a theory with myself. So I was a big time cat person. Like I found dogs too much. And honestly, I feel like after years of work,
what kind of work?
Personal work in lines of like not being, oh my God.
This is just dog themed. You know what? People are going to have to deal with it.
You're going to hear now a giant
really large bone.
This is not a generalization at all, but for me personally, the gift of love that dogs bring, I really couldn't handle. And as I got more comfortable with myself and who I am and felt like I was worthy to be loved and worthy and confident, I've liked dogs more over the years.
But what happened to what closed your heart and hardened it? Like
they're
I
evil.
don't know.
Just look at them.
Towards cats. Oh my God.
I do. I actually thought I could have a cat recently. Cats can be you know what it is? Ming Ming. I had one cat that soured all my cats because I've never had a cat that's as insane as she is. I've never had a cat who you cannot set something on the counter or she'll jump up and start eating it. Like, I mean, obsessively,
Whoa.
like she's frantic.
I have friends who have 3 cats that are all like that and they love their cats and they've figured it out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, moving past dogs and cats, why do birds suddenly appear? Blah, blah, blah. Scary, not first rodeo.
Okay, well, let's get it. So, come on. It's scary. So, speak to that. I watched you like on the, in the excitement phase. And then I witnessed the first hiccup where suddenly you went, well, I don't know if it was the first, but a hiccup where suddenly you were like, whoa. Now I'm seeing myself and I'm realizing I still have work to do.
The mistaken thing.
When you misinterpreted something, a text, and you went to some old patterns. So that's what, you want to address like that side of the scary, like in a way that doesn't like just, because I think, I do think we can get ourselves into a very safe lifestyle where we're like, oh yeah, I'm doing really well. And we're seeing our counselors and we're doing the work and we hang out with people who speak similarly to us and we're probably in habits with our triggers too. And so you're suddenly in new territory with a whole new person.
Yeah. Okay, two things. The first thing is that what I've been working on, now I'm talking super low. What I've been working on is surrender. Wow, surrender. So this is something I've been working on.
Orgasm yelling you've been doing. You're like, what's wrong with my voice?
I gotta work on it. Like,
yes,
whoa,
you gotta work on your resonance. You don't want to.
But anyway, so I surrender. Okay, so this is something that I've been working on in life in all areas, which is a big ask of me because I like control. I like control over my environment. No, I know, Margaret, this is total surprise to you. It's total surprise. I mean, most people do.
I think we all start to figure out how we find control in our lives.
Like, I don't think, well, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think I try to control other people, but my lifestyle, this is what I do to feel safe, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, I don't know. I
would say that this is what I do to feel safe, that there has been at times a slight rigidity to your needs.
Oh
and
God.
I actually do think that has shifted. I've noticed that I've noticed that for sure. I
That's
remember
nice.
you said with me how you noticed I was different was a softening. And I feel like it's the same thing with you, but it's a softening of that, of the need of control and the rigidity that I just joked about. That has softened. Like, so.
Yeah, thank you. It has softened, but it needs to soften a lot more. Or I want it to, because I mean, from a spiritual perspective, surrender is what it's all about. We won't get into that, but I think that if you look at little moments of surrender, that can culminate in the big moment of the whole surrender of, oh God, I'm getting too.
It's almost like your surrender muscle. And so
totally.
if you're surrendering to, oh, someone parked in my spot,
Yeah.
that's practice for, oh, my house is being demolished, like,
Right.
so I think you are in a place of surrender, but you have the early stage of relationship that's propelling the fun and excitement.
Yeah.
So that it's nice because you can kind of practice the surrender when you're still in that stage of.
Oh, let me tell you, there is still surrender.
Of course, no,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm saying you're being propelled by all the positivity, which makes the surrender that you have to do easier because it's all like it's new and you're so inspired. So you're practicing now that as over time.
I gotcha. Yes.
Oh, of course there's surrender.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because there's surrender in, okay, I feel this feeling, this big feeling. Does the other person feel the big feeling? But I can't really stop myself from feeling this thing because that's just the way it is. So I have to surrender to that. I just have to surrender to those feelings, surrender to the joy I'm feeling, even though I don't know what the future holds, surrender to my imagination, like being grounded about it, but surrendering to those little fairy tales that I have in my mind, because that's how it is, and not try to manhandle the whole thing,
Absolutely. It's like this very societal human, I think, not just society, but this human thing, like, I have the capacity to feel so good about something right now, but I better not.
Yeah.
Because this may not last. And when you think of it, this is absurd.
Yeah.
So feel it now.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't last, you'll be fine. I think, and that is, there's so many reasons that.
And I do think
we learn about.
I love what you said about how you get in. The only reason I'm closing my eyes is because it's bright behind you.
It's not because I'm so ugly. You can't look at me.
You look adorbs, I would say today.
This is your dress.
The point is, I think you can only do so much personal growth. Well, this is for me. I can only do so much personal growth as a single person. If I really want to fucking see what I'm made of, let's.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely well. And I do think there are periods of growth for both.
Yes.
So I think when you're newly single, that's a big period of growth.
Yeah.
Right. And then eventually, if you truly are working on yourself and you're feeling accountable for the relationships that aren't working, and you're recognizing that it's not just the person you picked, but it's the work you aren't doing or the work you need to do.
Yeah.
Eventually, obviously, you need someone in the sandbox with you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think really successful couples, the people I see, as I said in the past, the people that are still married aren't married because they're compatible, but they're married because they are dedicated to continuing to learn and grow within the relationship, because they recognize there's so much growth potential with another person.
Yeah.
There are lots of very long married people that are not growing. They're not interested in growth.
Yeah.
They're not really that happy and satisfied, but they've chosen the comfort.
Yeah.
And everything in between. I'm not dissing on. And there are a lot of single people who probably don't do the work and are, the same as that. They're kind of in a non-growth state of, this is my life. And
yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that for me, it's not like I went on Hinge because I was like, I think I need a challenge. No, actually, that was just like, oh, I'm ready for it. But I also know about myself that it's helpful for me to be able to be in a partnership where there's give and take and where I can learn to give, because frankly, I have not been a mom. Okay, let's just state it. Okay?
Okay, we're stating it.
We're stating
it's
it.
official now. You have not been a mom.
Okay, I know everybody thought maybe I had 7 children hidden away somewhere. But when you are a single woman, you kind of get to do things your own way. I did have roommates until though I thought about this recently. I had roommates until I was, I think, like 35. Yeah. So I did, that was good for me.
Well, yeah. And I feel like I don't want this to be a debate anyway, because I know you're trying to make a point, but
yeah,
I don't feel like, sure, you didn't learn that you have to, there's a bit of go with the flow you have to pick up when you have kids.
Yes.
But you are a very giving person. You just haven't had children to be giving with.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh my God, you give so much to your students.
Yeah, but I give it on my
family,
time.
on your terms.
Not
always.
Not on my terms, but like, I don't know. There's just something different.
Well,
there's something that motherhood.
Well, yeah, because motherhood,
or parenthood, we'll say.
Parenthood. And maybe we don't have to do this in romantic relationship. But motherhood, you absolutely can be so done and so drained and so needing your own time, and yet you still find a reserve for that. And so you do learn, well, it's a type of growth that obviously if you haven't had kids, there's no way around it. You haven't experienced that growth.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
So now you're experiencing that growth to some degree, it sounds like.
Well, I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know where that's going, but I just know that there's more than just meeting a person that I'm having some fabulous time with. There's like layers of depth to it, There's lots of layers.
What I pick up right now is the analogy I was thinking about, like someone who's going to do a massive, like they're going to do Mount Everest, right? So you get to that, you're at that excitement stage where you're really excited about doing it and you're planning on doing it and you've decided to do it and you've booked your trip. But now, like, you have to take it seriously. You're not like, and it's going to be so easy. You're like, okay, so I want to make sure I have all the right equipment and,
that's great,
and the
Margaret.
gear. And I've, so you are not taking this lightly. You're realizing it's super fun and you're at a really great stage, but you're also wanting to set yourself up for success, I guess.
Yeah.
Take it seriously.
Well done. This is why
That's
you're
very
the podcast, whatever.
The podcast with the dog that chews in the background.
She's settled now.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time, so I also want to, let's see, I have a mini update because I did like a generic update and we're still deciding if I should have been more specific, but I was trying to be honor Jim. I've had some real struggles with other things in my life lately. And last week, for the first time, for about half an hour, I thought it'd be nice to have a partner in my life. And then I was like, yeah, no. But I didn't go back there again. But I was like, is it progress or is it just that I'm like feeling in such need for support right now? I'm not sure. So to be continued.
Ooh, but can I say that when you're in need of support and you think maybe I need a partner, that's also like that's a part of your brain that's like, this might be a good idea. To have somebody that I could, we all need to, I don't believe in this thing like you have to be completely 100% fine on your own, not lean on anybody.
No.
And then you could be, well, like what the fuck is a relationship then, So.
Well, and that's just, to me, that's such a great misconception of whatever journey people are on. And,
new agey bullshit.
Because they talk about that moment with the Buddhist moment where he was dying. Yeah. And the only way he didn't die was with that girl that, helped him back to life or whatever. Buddha, when he had tried starving himself to death.
I don't know this.
Oh, I'll tell you about it.
Okay. I feel like I know things about the Buddha.
But anyway, I'll know after I see my therapist, I'll be able to tell you, was this a step forward or was it a step back? Was I needy because needy Miss Tweety who's like, I'm so alone. I need someone to hug me. Or was it okay, yeah, maybe support would be nice. Was it?
Well,
Was
and
it?
can I say
Well,
something? You know how we've talked about.
I don't think so.
You know how we talked about in episodes a long time ago about all these different modalities of therapy, and I talked about IFS, internal family systems, which is not a therapy that I practice, but I know a lot about it, and it's where you are the understanding is that you have all these different parts, and you have to listen to them, and then you're able to sort of process what they're saying from an adult perspective, blah, blah, blah. So maybe this little part that needed comfort, like was like a child, but maybe she has something to say and there's something important about what she's saying. And you don't have to necessarily act from her perspective, but you can take the information she's giving you and then act accordingly. Like, don't worry, we'll make sure that we're not alone. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I would say I probably, once I felt that, I went back to my life is much easier without that perspective. So whether or not that's was a true feeling, well, it was a true feeling in the moment, but it didn't last. And I think I just went to, no, I am I am now single and I'm happy and I don't need anyone in my life and I'm busy doing other things and I have other people and things that find me support
But it could, I mean, and I know you know this, Margaret, I'm just saying this for the listeners' sake that it doesn't have to remain that way. For a year, you might have moments where you're like, oh, it would be really nice to have like somebody who could be tender and loving to me. And then be like, well, but you know what? I'm giving that to myself right now. And then it comes back and, like you're not going to be in this one state constantly. Yeah. But I think to listen to what it's saying.
It makes me want to circle back because in a way it's like watching your journey. Like a year ago, you were quite different than me in lines of you were open to someday having relationship.
Right.
But, look at how you've shifted and progressed and, over time we'll see, I guess, what's going to happen to Margaret. Is she going to ever meet somebody or is she going to want to? Actually, it's want.
Yeah. Is she going to want to? Yeah. Can I circle back to one thing about being single for a year and a half and kind of like having single moments, as we know, for the last many years, is I was able to notice my emotional states and realize that they were often not related to anybody else except for my own internal stuff that's going on, my psyche. And so that was really important because I was like, wait, it's like if you are the only one at home and you're like, fuck, somebody did not put the milk in the fridge. And you're like, oh, Jesus, I'm the only one that lives here. It's got to be me. Yeah.
Oh, I had a friend who's like, she once said, she's like, those people who talk shit about like every friend they've ever had.
Yeah.
They're like, what is the common denominator there? But
it's really helpful to be alone, not because I need to be able to be alone so that I don't need anybody, but to really go, oh, what is this internal landscape?
Yeah.
What is it when it's just Angela?
Well, that fits because last week I was very upset about a very specific thing and I was feeling really shitty about it and just thinking that I felt shitty because of that. But I noticed it was presenting in other parts of my life.
Right.
And then I realized, oh, it wasn't the shitty thing. I'm totally triggered. The shitty thing triggered me.
Right.
And now now it's actually me.
Yeah.
It's not the person who brought the shitty thing my way.
Yeah.
It is me and how I've, my body, my whatever, my belief system has responded.
Yeah.
And it honestly, like, I don't know if I'll put this part in, but like I've loved playing tennis. I hated playing tennis last week. All I felt like was I suck. I'm ruining this game for the person on the other side of the net because I'm not good enough.
Right.
And it was such an incredible metaphor for the experience I had.
Yeah.
Because of me, I am ruining this other person's experience.
Yeah.
I guess I will have to keep that in
Yeah.
mind. And
then
that
it
was when I went,
globalizes, yeah.
because I was like, no, I need to go see my therapist, but not about that person and the thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go see my therapist about this belief that I hold deeply,
Yeah.
that I must not be the person that ruins other people's experiences. And if I do, then I'm like not of value to anybody on the planet.
I wish I could say something really articulate about that, but that is like you just hit the nail. That's exactly what it's about. It's not, can you help me solve this issue that I have with this person? It's like, what is the belief that is making that a bigger issue or a different issue or
impacting how you respond to the situation. Now, I understand, boy, we have a listener who has sent some questions.
Yes.
So
this is Sue from Peterborough, and her question is, and she says she's 62. Her question is it possible for a single man and a single woman to have a friendship that is strictly platonic?
Oh my God, this is the world's greatest question.
I know.
Okay,
you go first.
There was a time where I would have said unequivocally yes. And then there has been a time since then that I lean closer to, which is unequivocally no. But I don't know that I can be unequivocal about it anymore. I don't even know if I'm using that word right. Can you think of it? Like, I'm a closer no than a yes. Like, I just feel like if there's not a spouse involved, even if there is, there's always that question.
Okay, but wait a second. What about our mutual friends, our mutual guy friends?
Yeah, they're gross and they're like brothers, though. And I've known them since I was like 15. I guess, you know what? It depends on the circumstance.
It depends on the circumstance. Yes.
If you just, can I have
yes,
a few
you
thoughts?
may. Yeah.
So I had a rule with Jim, and I will have this with any of my partners.
Okay.
If they're meeting some woman new, brand new, and they're developing a new relationship that is platonic, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Because I do think that men seek certain connection from the women in their lives. And they're like, I would struggle with that. I have a pretty strong opinion about that. But to me, old friendships that have been well established before the relationship came along.
Yeah.
Those I trust, right?
Yeah. What about, okay, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. What about if you really deeply trust the person that you're with and they make a new friend at work or something and they're going out for coffee with that person or something?
I can't speak to that because I have such unhealed pieces around favoritism and rejection.
Okay, so what you're saying, so this is good stuff though, but because what you're saying is that your answer is coming from your
absolutely
your wounds or whatever, and not wounds, but there's a better way to say that.
No, I'm not frowning about that. The answer to if I personally really trusted the guy and they made a new person, I don't, so I guess, I guess I see what you're saying. I have this respect piece. Like, I don't think it's respectful to your partner to make a new female friend that you want to go for lunch with and go to a movie. Like, I don't know. I feel like there is something to that, but it's gotta be personal. Like, I mean, we have like lots of friends who have female friends, we have married guy friends who have female friends and like my dad used to have female friends he'd play tennis with and like, who knows what, no, I'm joking.
But our guy friends, their wives are like, cool.
Yeah, get out of my hair.
Like, go have fun with Angela and Margaret because I have no doubt, and there is no doubt with us.
But too. I needed to hear that. I needed to hear from I trust that the guys aren't lying about their wives, but I needed to hear that they and their wives have established that their wives don't mind, especially when I've been single. When I've been single, I've been less comfortable hanging out with my guy friends because I've been worried about how their wives feel about it.
Right. Well, I don't have guy friends that I talk to on the phone. I just have a couple of guy friends that I might go, to a concert with.
Right. Well, that's where, in a way, we need to see, that's the problem. That's why to me, that's why, to me, if the guy in your life suddenly has a gal bestie that he's met at work, there's a problem.
Right.
But if because I kind of, this is bringing me to this statement, and I want to see what you think of this.
Okay.
I hold a belief that men often need the woman in their life because they speak to women about, like, they get that compassion and empathy from their wife
Okay.
that they don't get in their other friendships, and that wives play a very significant,
Or girlfriends, partners.
yeah,
whatever,
the woman a woman in a man's life generally plays the role of that person, like
Okay.
gives him the emotional support that generally guys don't do, right? So if I feel like as long as that process is there and happening and healthy, then it probably is fine if there are other women around,
Right.
But if
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
if he's, well, I talked to so and so, and she really helped me. I would worry that there are boundaries being crossed there. But
Yeah. No, I mean, oh God, Sue from Peterborough. That's a really tough one.
Well, in a way, it's like, but now let's just go to two single people.
Okay, two single people. Okay.
So we have two single people. I do think two single people can have platonic friendship because I have platonic in that we have not crossed the line, but I've always wondered if we could. And I know I remember us talking about it when he'd met someone. We both admitted that it was in the back of our minds that it could change, but we were very respectful of we've drawn this line. We are platonic friends and that is it.
Yeah.
But it was always there. Could I date him? Times it was like, no, I couldn't. But then I don't know what would have happened if he had come to me and said, hey, I actually think I want more from this.
Yeah.
And I may have, knowing me, come on, we all know me in the show I wrote. Of course, I would have been like, okay, sure, let me change my whole self and life so I can fit into your world.
Well, and I think the answer to this question is, who knows? Like maybe for a bit, and then maybe somebody develops feelings or somebody else. Like, well, it's possible, but people change constantly and their emotions evolve constantly, and they see. So it's not yes.
I have a clever circle back answer.
Okay, let's hear it.
The answer is surrender. And surrender to whatever it is. If you're pissed off, jealous, and angry, like let's say we're talking about it is a male-female friendship and with the guy you're with and you're pissed off and angry, then you're surrendering to feeling pissed off and angry. If you are feeling attracted and wanting more from a guy you're having a friendship with, or if you're questioning how he is thinking of it, you surrender to whatever you need to say. And then you communicate.
Yeah.
Surrender, communicate.
Yes.
So if you're sitting there, Sue, if you know a guy and you're not certain where you stand with him or where he stands with you, you surrender to those feelings and perhaps you share them.
Perfect. So rather than being like, shit, I need to control this. I need to find out what's going on. Why are they doing this? Just like, and then so much vulnerability. It takes so much.
Yes. I tend to want to figure out the answers and I will ruminate.
Yeah.
And Jim was here a couple weekends ago and I really want us to be friends. And I was really uncomfortable and struggling and uncertain where he was at and where it just didn't feel like we'd clicked.
Yeah.
And I finally just said that. I was like, I feel really awkward. Like I'm not, I want to be friends, but I don't know how to do this. And I think I might have started to cry because I was like, I really want to be friends, but it's just so hard to figure this out without what we used to be. And because of the surrender and the communication, I felt so much better. Like we talked it through and he shared and I shared and,
And you have to be willing to admit, I think this is one of the biggest things. You have to be able to admit feelings that you might have that aren't the most, that don't put you in the most flattering light.
Yeah.
And
that's all relationships. Yeah. And that's what's so hard. Which actually, this is good, Sue from Peterborough, because this leads me to a question I just remembered I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Because we kind of had a bit of a cliffhanger in the last episode. We were talking about men and women being friends, and you said you thought there could be non-sexual relationships between men and women which are not just friendships. Do you remember when you said
I remember
that?
I said that. Yeah.
And I wanted to move us on because I didn't have you elucidate on that, but I was thinking about it ever since because it reminds me of Jim and I. And I was like, why did I not ask her for more information there? Like, what do you mean you think you can be in love with, people cannot be at the friendship zone, if they've explained it?
Well, what I mean is that you could be hanging out with your former boyfriend in this particular case.
For instance.
And you have deep feelings for that person. So that's not just your average friendship. If friendship is just a lack of sex, then that
right,
changes everything.
Isn't it funny how we get blinders on when it has to do with us? I'm like, I do not understand. What do you mean? Because you're right. Jim and I are not a textbook friendship because we deeply loved and have chosen not to pursue whatever you want to call a traditional relationship, and we're no longer sexual. So we're calling it friends. But it's not friends. I don't know what to call it.
And
it needs to be a word. I bet in Sweden there's a word for people who have slept together, had serious relationship, and are no
let's
longer.
Take something from the IKEA catalog and then just put it's the
Malm. I love that you laughed at that because that means everyone has seen Malm in the fucking. How many Malms do people have?
Did you hear my Kivik joke? Kiviks are couches.
Oh
my God. I wasn't fast enough. I wasn't fast enough. But you know what? Then maybe, oh God, I feel a lot of stress just thinking about this, which is interesting, which is nobody's problem but my own. But when I think of a friendship, how do you determine that it's just a friendship? Well, if you're in a relationship with another person and you feel like you shouldn't be having that friendship, that means that it's not just a friendship. I
know, right? Well, this is so,
God.
Like, for example, you've had a circumstance, I would say, in your life where you could have had a friendship with an ex. And because of just all, just probably self-preservation or like you made a decision, you're like, no.
Well, because I could feel that it wasn't just a friendship. The person said this would be a friendship, but it was clear to me.
They were crossing boundaries.
They were
willing to cross boundaries.
They were willing to, or I could tell what they were feeling. And so I knew it just wouldn't be healthy for anybody involved.
Right. And the unhealthy elements that existed in when you were together were still being in the same level.
And I just don't want to go, honestly, I want my life to be, here's the control, as simple as it can be in terms of my behaviors. So I can't control other people, but why would I just suddenly start to make my life super complicated by bringing in some, I know.
I know.
I've had a lot of drama in my in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and early 50s. And I choose to live differently.
I mean, I love that. And I see that. And I really feel like I've seen tremendous growth in you over the last few years since we reconnected ourselves and have had a deep friendship. And it is interesting because of course, it's hard for me not to project what you're saying on the fact that I am pursuing a friendship with Jim. I've never done this in my life. I've never wanted. And it's a physical feeling like I'm not close, like this person is still going to be a part of my life somehow. I'm not sure why. And when people ask me, I can't tell them why, which is something for me that's new. And it actually feels evolved, which means I had to be devolved to be more evolved, and I'm not trying to say, but for me, it's like, it does feel like it's something worth pursuing.
Yeah.
But it is not easy and it is confusing. Because there's no feelings for wanting our relationship to continue or even wanting him to play a support role in nothing.
Yeah. So it's not something that you can easily explain, but it's coming from an authentic place within yourself. You're not trying to stir up a bunch of drama, right?
Yeah,
but people may not understand and they don't have to because this is your choice.
Oh, I love it. On that note, what a great, that was a great button. You buttoned it up nicely. And thanks for coming by today.
Thank
Have
you.
fun. She's going to work and then she's going to see her guy, not named Raul.
That's
not named Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
But neutrally, it could be. Those could be his names, and that would be fine.
That would be fine. Because
Yeah.
Latinos are fine, right? We
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah.
Or not
exactly. Yes. Yeah. It could also be Rolf, and that would be fine too.
Because he'd be German. Oh my God. We might
All
need
right.
to
Thank
leave
you.
that. Okay, bye.
Okay, well, thank you for listening. Before I sign off, I just want to mention what I was saying about Buddha and I looked it up. It was it's called the most critical turning point in Buddhist history was when, after 6 years of seeking enlightenment, Siddhartha was wasting away a living skeleton, trying on his own, was, fasting, and thought the path to enlightenment was about being isolated. But then he collapsed into a river, nearly drowned, and a young female villager found him, took him to her shelter and basically nursed him back to life. And that was the moment where he realized the path to enlightenment was not about finding, peace on your own. It was about learning to accept help. So, yeah, if you have any thoughts or comments, please send them our way. You can send us a text through your podcast hosting site. Through our podcast hosting site. Just click on the description of the podcast on your podcast hosting site. And, thanks again to Stephen Morton for our beautiful artwork. Ciao!